So you want to
Got
help?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll
So click register, and you can have the option to register as either a student or a tutor.
And as a tutor, you can also get tutored. So if you want to do both functionalities, you would register as a tutor.
So I'll start with student. Just pulls you over to a pretty basic screen. I'll do
You Texas. Yeah. And then we'll also we're adding both Facebook and LinkedIn sign in as well.
and then yeah, I need to link that, but
You're gonna have to.
yeah, it just basically pulls up here, shows you featured tutors, and featured tutors are ones who have a lot of what we call karma, like we discussed earlier, and you'll see also your favorited if you have any favorites, and then ones that you've used prior to opening the app.
Go ahead and explain karma. What's karma?
Karma is basically, it's like a behind-the-scenes system that it counts when you log in. Every time you interact with something in the app, like when I tap to view somebody's profile, that tutor is getting promoted just by a few points. We came up with algorithm a few months ago, but it's like certain points are assigned to certain tasks in the app, like posting a tip for students gives them karma, and then the more karma you have, the higher your content goes when it's displayed to other people. It's just so features you, rewards people who are using the app. And I'll just go into this guy here. So here's just a really simple tutor view. You'd have, if you had any sessions, you'd have reviews too, but there's just karma score. And so that's what you start out with. So he's never used the app. If I wanted to schedule a session, pulls up here.
So this is you're scheduling a new tutoring session?
Exactly, yeah.
With this tutor.
As a student
Yeah.
with
As a
this
student
tutor.
with, yeah, this tutor. And I'll just say, choose the date, duration, and then for location, pulls up a map, and we've got kind of a little system in here, and we'll go to little coffee shops around Austin, and this one's Kirby Lane, and if on some of them we'll have a little info button, and we'll go in there and say, hey, we want to bring business to you guys, but because we like your place, so if you want, we'll put in a little QR code in here, and students can come in, show that they have a session today, show the code, and they'll get like a free drink or something. So you tap that.
You can literally just link it with the Starbucks app almost.
Yeah.
They have their entire system.
Exactly, and so some of these will have little pages on them, and if I select that, they'll still be recording. And then go, and then ask you to confirm, and then request a session. So now I'll have the session with him.
And then, yeah. So then you
There's
swipe
tips.
over for tips.
If I want to post a new one,
Explain the tips section really quick.
okay, so you want to explain it?
Yeah, sure. So the tip section is basically giving tips to get them. So a student has a question. It's something that can't wait for an in-person session. Maybe they have some sort of quest homework, something that's due at midnight. They can't get that last question. They can just post it onto the tips feed. They can tag it, and they can attach a dollar amount as a sort of bounty. So tutors can then log in, find the subjects that they specialize in, and answer the tips. And if they answer them correctly, then they'll get that tip. So it's a really easy way for someone who's versed in a subject to just go through and make money while they're sitting on the couch. It's basically monetizing their knowledge whenever they want to, and it's giving our tutors an opportunity to use the system even if they don't have students in their area. So it gives us the opportunity to continuously utilize the network until we can bring more students into their area, get more people on the app. It's a way of keeping them on all the time, and it's also a way of getting students answers really quickly because they can be answered by anyone in the country. So there'll always be people looking for tips.
So if I just want to post a tip as a student, just say like, need help with a project, then attach a dollar amount. We're taking out the $0 tips just so we won't have people just posting random stuff. I can add a photo if I want, and then go ahead and post that. And my tips one of those it. So there's
So potentially if you have like a homework with 20 problems, you have 5 really difficult ones. You could pay $10 to have your homework, like someone help you with your homework for 5 tough questions, rather than an hour-long, $20, $40
Exactly.
tutoring
You
session.
literally
You pay
just take a
$10
picture of it,
from
post
the
it on.
And
comfort of your own home.
our UX guy is developing an interface for multiple choice, and so we can just have like a $2 multiple choice or $1 multiple choice problem, and then they can just swipe through ones that are matching their field, the
Right.
tutors can, and just answer them like that. Just pop, 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 like
So
that.
basically, what we do is use a sort of picture-to-text recognition, so they can identify letters in a problem and then just match them to buttons. So it'll be almost like Trivia Crack if you ever use that. Or so basically, the problem would come up, 4 buttons, tutor taps, money in the bank, bam, 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 bam.
So you described a little bit last time. Is there a legal problem with other people answering other people's homework questions, especially in like a multiple choice format?
Legally, not at all. I mean, it's not illegal to do work for someone else.
Right.
Schools may take issue with it, but at the same time, that's not a legal issue for us, and at the same time, it's also completely anonymous. So it would be difficult for them.
To track
Yeah.
down who
That
it
being said, maybe we should put something like as soon as they press the camera button for the first time, to like make sure there's no logos or anything on paper they take a picture of, because that could be a legal issue with somebody. If like they post a UT homework and it says UT on it.
I'm assuming it just needs to be that my really only worry is the multiple choice, because that goes from like the I'm giving you advice, even if the advice is like solving the problem for you. It goes from the advice sphere to the like I'm doing my homework for you sphere. Which, it might just be that you have a comments section along, multiple choice plus like, comments. At least allow there to be the possibility of comments, so that it's an advice giving service, not we're answering your homework for you.
No, I definitely agree. And that would be definitely in like the first or second update. So that's something we'll roll out as we see fit.
Yeah, and so as a student, I can't answer it, but I can comment, and as a tutor, I can answer, but I can't comment.
Yeah.
So this is something that he doesn't want to pay for, so I'll just go in and say 80. And then, yeah, we don't want people just randomly posting. It's 80. And we'll have, like, to remain anonymous, we can have just like, I don't know if you've seen Yik Yak. Do you ever use Yik Yak?
No.
Yeah.
Basically, you assign like objects or
like an avatar or something.
Yeah. Okay.
So
And see who's the one commenting, but not. You can't. It's like not attached to their name or email.
And so the comments are more meant for clarification type questions. So a student can ask, or like specify like what exactly are you trying to get at.
And then just settings, like right here, we've added a thing for just customizing the app. And so if I want to make the app personal, I can take a picture of something like this coffee, and that'll be like the background for everything in my app.
Okay.
And so it just gives the user a bit of personal touch. And so go ahead and log out. He's a.
For you to do that, how's the payment work at the bottom?
It's all Stripe.
Yeah,
So
Stripe.
Stripe, basically,
Do you have your member number so I can start a tap for you?
Yes.
Stripe is all integrated with Apple Pay now. They were the first provider. So Stripe,
Use
you basically
B019
just scan in your credit card. You can just take a picture. It's really simple. And then they take care of all the payment for us. Their fee is 30 cents plus 2.99%. So that's their cut. And then with payments for tutors, they can just cash out to their bank account. But until they cash out, the money is in our account. So eventually we would like to do something similar to Venmo, where they actually earn interest on the money that's sitting in their accounts until their members are cashing out.
Okay, and so again, just make sure all the data is cleared. I'll sign in as a tutor.
And you can see we have Facebook Connect at the bottom, Touch ID, so instead of
Having a log.
having a login, just fingerprint. Really simple.
That's great.
And yeah, we're adding LinkedIn, so a tutor can sign in with LinkedIn, and then if they've been a tutor in the past, you can actually see where they worked. So just sort of an extra layer of verification, or if you want someone who has worked professionally in the past, you can find them.
Yeah, so I know you want to see the payment. The payment isn't finished yet, so but I can show you what it's going to look like if you want to see that. I mean, the video won't be able to see it. Like you'll be able to add a card, and it'll just look something like that. And you'll be able to scan it with a camera, just like in Uber. But see, as a tutor, you can like spend and receive money on debit cards, and as a student, you can just spend money on debit or credit cards.
And that's one thing too. The money is in the ecosystem, so a tutor may use the money they're making from their sessions on tips or on another session if they're having trouble with another class. So it's a way to kind of keep money in our ecosystem as much as possible. We think that's a good idea.
Yeah, and so this is the tutor's home screen, and the tutor will see a calendar with any possible sessions attached. It's no sessions for me right now. And then these are just tips ordered by how likely they are to be applied or applicable to him.
With the calendar too, are you guys familiar with Canvas? Yeah, so so they have an API, so we're actually going to sync the calendar with Canvas's API, so you can see not only stuff related to your sessions, but also what you have to do. So it'll give you a heads up about all your upcoming assignments, and we can even sync that to a tutor's page so that they know what their students have coming up, and they can ask them, you know, hey, you have a test next week, would you like to meet? Would you like to go over material? So that just makes it a little more involved, and it also can kind of, it can lead to more engagement in the app, so instead of having a Canvas app, they can literally just look on our app.
Yeah.
Would you like to?
That's, I mean, pretty much what we have so far.
Yeah, so like the tips for me
Go
are
ahead.
things within their subjects, things that they might want to answer, so it makes it really easy for them to find things that they might know how to solve. The tutor will have a little screen that shows how much money they've made, how much money they've made to date, so lifetime earnings.
These are all things that haven't been quite built out yet.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said earlier, everything was like pretty much built in the other version, just got really sloppy. So
Okay.
we
So kind of a redo.
Yeah.
basically. Especially with the release of, or at least the announcement of iOS 9, we kind of we just want to stay up to date with Apple's UI standards, and so that's another thing too.
Yeah, so
A lot of flat UI interactivity with.
Yeah, exactly. The
simple
swiping
gestures.
system is, that's basically the newest UI. I know you guys probably use Snapchat. That's what they're based on. So, yeah, we wanted to make it as clean as possible. But, I mean, we've basically been working on it 20 hours a day. So it's just because there's certain parts that aren't done, it'll be done very soon.
If you'd like, we can send you an email of all the things we have accomplished and what we have yet to accomplish.
Yeah. So did you go through what the tips looks like for the tutor?
Yeah, it's just pretty much the same thing on here.
Yeah.
And
So they can click on something and answer it.
yeah, so here's the one I just did. He can't answer it right now because he doesn't have any payment set up. So,
Okay.
but yeah, basically, like if you tap this, it'll load as to make sure nobody else is answering it.
Mhm.
So like you were saying about locking them out, and so that like right now don't have any payments, so it's not going to let me do it, but I can still upvote on it and see the comments. And so it looks the same across the app, but just a little bit different functionality. Yeah.
And, yeah, we just have sort of a system for swiping through exactly what you want to see, the popular ones, the ones that are meant for you. So forth.
So on a percentage scale, if y'all were from now until launch, what percentage of the total project, as far as hours go, do y'all have sort of left before you could actually do it?
75% done. Because I mean, I still have all the scripts from the payment, everything that is useful that I won't need to rewrite. I just got to attach it to UI. And so that's kind of a tedious process of moving it one pixel this way, etc. Just making sure everything's fine. But yeah, so I would say something like 85%.
Yeah,
Great.
and we also have
We've got a couple
Enrique
other
is
guys
doing
working on it.
so and we just started bringing them on. We have it all on GitHub, so it's now sort of a cloud-based
Yeah.
process.
So this isn't the most updated one. We've got other guys working on it too, so I don't know what
literally
they could
as
be
we
doing.
speak,
So yeah, on the GitHub. Yeah, questions or anything?
It's probably good for the demo. We may ask some more questions, but
Okay.
you can go ahead and